to US. He came to US, and then since then he's been serving in various congregation. He served in various congregations here in US, and um, I think 2003 Prabhu moved to Alachua, and since then Prabhu has been serving dedicatedly over there. He's been serving in so many wonderful ways, especially morning programs, serving devotees, and it is heartwarming to share that Prabhu is on the way to accept the renounced order of life, sannyasa. So Prabhu is on sannyas list, and soon Prabhu will be accepting the sannyas order of life and will be traveling and giving this Krishna consciousness all over the world. And we are truly, truly blessed that we have Prabhuji here on this call for our ISKCON Richmond Yatra. So this is again 3-part series. Prabhu will be talking about morning sadhana, the importance of morning sadhana. So we highly recommend and encourage and request everyone to please join all 3 parts and share with your friends, and loved ones to join us. So without any further ado, I will hand it over to His Grace Prana Govinda Prabhu. Sorry, Prabhuji, I'm on road right now, but I'll be on call. And once again, very, very grateful. Thank you so very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Dibbanam Prabhu. You are so mercifully engaged me, and I'm honored for that. I feel grateful to all of you because you have taken your valuable time to come together through the Zoom to nourish our heart by the gift of all our acharyas headed by Srila Prabhupada, how he really wants our best. And he gave a very easy, sublime way to proceed towards that. So with all the mercy and blessings and prayers, we'll begin with singing the Sangsara Davanalo in a late morning tone. Just no repeating, just one time because it's a long song. Thank you so much. Dibbanam Prabhu. You all can sing also, but we're not repeating, just not responding, just one time. Sangsara nalalira loka pranaya karana gana gana tapasya kallana gunanavasya Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam Mahaprabhu ki Tananita Gita Paditra Madan Manasora Sena Romancha Kampa Sutaranga Bhajo Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam Sri Vigrawara Dhananitanana Singaratan Mandiram Arjana Yuktasya Bhaktam Chanijunjatopi Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam Chaturvidha Sri Bhagavat Prasado Sadhana Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangam Kritaiva Triptim Bhajata Sadaiva Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam Siradhika madhabayara para madhur jalila gunarupana pratikshana sadhana lolopasha Vande Guru Sri Charanar Vindam Vande Guru Sri Charanar Vindam Nikunja Juna Rati Kelishidhai Jajali Bhiju Tirapekshaniya Tatrati Dakshat Atibalabhasa Vande Guru Sri Charanar Vindam Vande Guru Sri Charanar Vindam Shakshadhari Tena Shamasta Shastre Uktastata Bhavataye Basad Kintu Prabhurja Priyaye Batasya Vande Guru Sri Charanar Vindam Vande Guru Sri Charanar Vindam Jasya Prasadat Bhagavad Prasado Jasya Prasadat Nagati Kutohi Dayam Stubam Tasya Yasha Trishandam Vande Guru Sri Charanar Vindam Vande Guru Sri Charanar Vindam Srimad Guru Rastakameta Duche Brahma Muhurte Patati Prajatna Yaste Nabrinda Bananat Saksha Sebe Balabha Janatanat Yeva Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Visesha Sundari Ashata Deshatarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adigor Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you for coming and participating in this beautiful session of Morning Sadhana seminars for 3 days, 3 weekend, 3 Saturdays. I would request everyone to take your proper sacred space wherever you are, even if you are serving something while you are listening or you are actually sitting and listening. Please collect some flower, nice fragrant flower. While we do the Mangala Charan, I want you to offer flower at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada and pass to your Guru, Srila Prabhupada, and we'll cross through the Guru Parampara and offer flower, or you can make a garland if you have time within a few moments in a subtle body. And we'll take the journey all the way to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and to Radha Krishna. Srila Prabhupada in Switzerland, while he was giving class, he said, you should meditate that you are actually holding the Lord in the heart and you're serving. So we can do that under his guidance since he wants us. And what will happen if you do that? Srehi Gyanam Abbasat Gyanat Dhanam Vishishyate. When you do that dhyan or meditation on this Guru Parampara, then dhanat karma phalategat. Anything that keeping you in this world will be disappearing or diminishing or burned to ashes. 3 ways disappear from our consciousness. And then what will happen? Dhanat karma phalategat tegat santi nirantaram. Then you will have a wonderful divine peace in the heart where you can actually begin pure bhakti. In order to do pure bhakti, we have to come to that Brahmabhuta stage. So let's begin. Please fold your hand, collect some flower in your subtle body, because you are not this physical body anyway, but you are inside the physical body. Car is important to take care. We have to take care of our physical body so long we go to the destiny. After destiny, car is not required. You can park. So similarly, so let's pray. Om Ajnanatirandasya Gnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadatisha Padantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanitam Sajivam Sadaitam Sabadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanitanscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavani Paschatadeshatarine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Ti Namine Sri Varsavanavi Devi Dayitaya Kripadaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine Prabhave Nama Madhurja Ujjala Premadha Sri Rupanuga Bhaktida Sri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namaste Namaste Gauravani Sri Murtaye Dinakarine Rupanuga Viruddhava Siddhanta Dhantarine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambar Sambodhe Padambujayate Namo Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Sakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestam Nirdesa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannataya Te Namah Vancha Kalpataro Vescha Kripa Sindhubhayeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. You can offer flower to all the Vaishnavas, all the senior Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis in the Zoom also, because they are also lover of Krishna. We can offer flower to their lotus feet also. Namo Mahabhadanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurakise Namo Panchatatmatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavatara Bhaktaksham Namami Bhakta Saktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Jayatam Sarato Pangur Mama Mandamate Gati Matsarvasya Padambujo Radha Madana Mohano Nibbad Brindaranna Kalpadrumada Srimad Ratnagara Singhasanasta Srimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Stali Shivamano Smarami Srimana Rasa Rasarambi Bangshi Bhatta Tatastita Karsana Benu Sanir Gopi Gopinath Sri Estunam Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. Dear devotees, so we thank you for joining and making this happen so wonderfully. When I was singing Sangsara Davanala prayers, how important that prayers is. I hope you all know Srila Prabhupada made few melodies, all are recorded, at least two are in the database recorded. And Prabhupada gave so much importance. The last verse maybe you haven't heard, which I'll explain at the third session. Srimad Guru Rastakam Etaduche Brahma Muhurte Patati Prajatna. Justena Vrindavana Nata Shaksha Sive Balabha Janatu Asu Annata Eva. When Achyutananda Prabhu, he lives here in Alachua, he translated this. So he did not put that after the 8th number. It's called Guru Astaka. Astaka means 8. So then this is 9. 9 is the Falashruti. Means if you sing this every day, what will happen to you? What the result you will get? So he translated that. He put it in the beginning of the Gurvastakam. If you look at the songbook, he put that translation. And Prabhupada looked at it. Prabhupada said, this is wonderful. But a lot of us, we sing, but we don't remember what is written before the song, because we don't look at the songbook. We just kind of memorize for so many decades. So we just sing. We should focus what will happen. You will enter early morning, Mangal Arati time, Radha Krishna's pastime. Bhakti Siddhanta Sri Thakur left this world exactly that time. Many other. So if you remember those translation, also we should memorize the translation, not just the song. If we memorize the translation, then your benefit is tremendous. Lord Krishna says himself, Yatta Gatta cha karmani lokaya manutistati vidusha karma siddhishet. Vidusha karma siddhishet. If you know what you are doing, why you are doing in this spiritual path, you will get the highest result. If you are not aware, you just singing because everybody else singing, you just going with the flow, then you will get little benefit, not so much benefit. This is very important verse Krishna spoke in 10th canto 24th chapter. That karma, vidusha karma siddhishet. If somebody do not know what practice they do, why they are doing, then it will take little longer journey. Krishna didn't say few life, but it appears like. But if you know why you are singing Samsaradava Nalalira Loka every day morning, what is the translation behind it, and what is the falashruti result of singing this, then you will definitely enter end of this life. So we should be aware we are doing anyway. Just like we honor Prasadam, I'm sure everybody in this Zoom are honoring Prasadam every day, or more or less every day, I'm sure. But what is the glory of Prasadam? If you know it, then you will get more benefit. Srila Prabhupada was asked, if Prasadam is very stale or very dry, should we honor? Will I get sick? And Prabhupada gave a very nice scientific answer. He said, it depends on your faith. Faith. How much you really maintain a belief that prasadam is transcendental, not material rice dal. So, proportion to our conscious acceptance, as Prabhupada said to Bhagavan Das, you will get the result. How much you really aware and how much you believe, that much result you will get. Not that everybody chanting in the temple, that's how Bhagavan Das asked that question to Prabhupada, that everybody chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the temple, will the result will be the same for everyone? Prabhupada says, he did not say yes or no, but he explained how the result is proceed. It's in the database, you can look at that letter, beautiful letter Prabhupada wrote. He says, proportion to your conscious acceptance, how much you maintain that belief, how much you understood, how much you have accepted, with faith, that much result. And each of us have a different faith, different level of acceptance. So result will be different. Question come today, why this morning sadhana important? Well, first of all, what is sadhana? And what is morning? Why it is so important? Well, Rupa Goswami Pad gave a Sanskrit sloka, the definition of what actually human being or living being are after. He said they are after bhakti. What does that mean? Well, it's in Sanskrit, but in English you can say they are after pleasure. Whether somebody is atheist or theist or whatever, everybody is looking for happiness and pleasure. So Prabhupada summarized that sloka in a few pages in Nectar of Devotion preface so wonderfully. He said that no one can live without loving anyone. Without loving someone, nobody can live. And he gives very wonderful explanation that how love can become all-embracing only when we understand that Krishna is the supreme beloved. And Prabhupada also explained the material so-called happiness that we are experiencing. It has a two-fold. It will run out and you have to pay a high price to maintain it. Even that will end with disappointment. It's called Chapalata and Bhogotega. And then Prabhupada makes few paragraphs about it. Then explain further that, okay, then we need pure love, not this mundane experience through sex, movie, whatever experience we have, driving a nice car or whatever. It's not satisfying us. So we need pure love experience. We need more Krishna experience than Krishna explanation. How do we get it? Well, to achieve the pure love, in Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami Pada explains, we need to awaken bhava, which is all along in a dormant state in each of living entity, each of us. How do you awaken? To awaken bhava, you need to do sadhana. Without sadhana, not possible. Never possible. Okay, so how do we do sadhana? This is where Rupa Goswami Pada express beautiful. We have sometimes wrong understanding. We think our purpose is just to be doing some service, but actually there has to be some attention and intention, not just action. For an example, one time we went to Godrum Deep, other side of Mayapur, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur's beautiful ashram there. And I remember we had a wonderful discussion. And we read Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it's called Bhaktivinoda Bani Vaibhav. It's very interesting that how 4 farmers, I'm sure you all know farmers, they do farming. They wanted to do bhajan. In Bengal, they think the goal of life is to do bhajan. So then they came, those days they were very, those days Jagannath Das Babaji was very prominent in Bengal and Vrindavan, Navadvip and Vrindavan. So they met Jagannath Das Babaji and they said, we have come to do bhajan. It's a very good. So they got initiated. So then Jagannath Babaji said, you chant few rounds. What you were doing before? He said, we were doing farming. He said, okay, I want you to start farming for our deity here. So they got a little confused. They thought Krishna consciousness lifestyle is different than the Karmi lifestyle, but he's engaging the same profession we were doing before. So they did for a few months until Bhaktivinoda Thakur came to visit Jagannath Das Babaji, and these four devotees who misunderstood their guru's wonderful blessing, they thought Bhaktivinoda Thakur is very educated materially and their guru is not that much educated. So maybe they should ask Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who very highly educated materially also, he will be able to understand. So they propose Bhaktivinoda Thakur that we came to do bhajan, but Babaji engage us, same thing we used to do before we came here. How to understand this is Krishna consciousness? So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I really want everybody to remember this. Bhaktivinoda Thakur asked them, what is the purpose of life? What is the purpose of Krishna consciousness practice? He said, to do bhajan. He said, who said that? Where, which scripture says this? The purpose is bhajan. Purpose, everybody should remember this. Purpose right now in our life is not even Krishna Prem. It's bhava, to be awakened. Ultimate goal is Krishna Prem. But in order to get Krishna Prem, right now, each of us in this world, while we are practicing, our main intention to awaken a dormant love, which all along, each of us has it in our heart, but in a latent position. Latent position means there is no sign of visibility. Sometimes some people may say, I don't have any feeling for Krishna. That's true. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave an example, just like a water has a liquidity as a inherent nature. But if you take the water into freezing condition, you will never see the liquidity in the ice. So how do you prove there is a liquidity in the ice? Well, in the beginning, with intelligence, those who understand that the water actually solidified or become ice due to the condition of the temperature, they will accept and they will think in their intelligence, okay, there is a liquidity in the ice, but I cannot see it. And one day this ice will come out of the freezing condition to a normal temperature. One day I will come out of conditional to constitutional, through cognitional. Then ice will melt, has a liquidity. I will also feel tremendous, uninterrupted feeling for the Lord, innate feeling for the Lord. So our main purpose all the time, 24 hours a day, whether we go to sleep to give the body rest, like Prabhupada, Govinda Dasi said that in the beginning in Hawaii, Prabhupada made a 4 regulative principle. Before this 4 regulative, there was another 4 regulative. First is number 1, in the kitchen, he wrote it by hand. Take care of your health. This is the first principle. Because if you don't have a good health, you cannot even do morning sadhana. So Prabhupada write, number 1 rules is take care of your health. But that doesn't mean only we take care of our health. That's not only he said. Then the second, third, fourth. Second is that do some service practically, whatever, like cook some food to offer God because you need to eat. and then you chant, then you read, like this. So first was take care health. So like this wonderfully. Similarly, we have to always keep in our mind, whatever we do, our purpose is right now to awaken that bhava, dormant bhava in our life. And there is a 9 symptom. Maybe next Saturday or Saturday later, I will explain these 9 symptoms. So each of us can examine where you are, what you are lacking. Is 9 symptom fully blossomed, or little bit sparking, or some symptom have no clue, but those 9 symptom has to be there. So today, so then Bhaktivinoda Thakur told them, the purpose is to awaken bhav. How do you awaken bhav? Where you have to do sadhana. But then sadhana itself will awaken? No. There is a clue. Clue is that sadhana will bring attention of Krishna, who will actually sanction. Without Krishna sanction, even though it is within you, it will never be awakened. And if you say, how come? Krishna will not just grant it automatically. It is not automatically. No. Prabhus and mothers, no. It is not automatically. Just because I'm chanting so many rounds, so many decades, now Krishna is bound to give me love of God. No. No. It is intentional. Krishna wants, because once you have love, Krishna actually becomes subordinate to your love. Krishna doesn't become subordinate to you. There's a fine point. Krishna becomes subordinate, like Krishna is subordinate to the love Mother Yashoda holds. Krishna wants to make sure that you are actually that candidate who really eager to serve him. You really want to be eternally with him, that he is waiting. When he sees that intention is proper and your sadhana is very legitimate and you're following your guru's instruction properly, Prabhupada is pleased. Prabhupada is very easy. Prabhupada says in, I'm sure in Atlanta, I believe, he said, when you develop love for Krishna, that will please me the most. When they asked, they thought book distribution, so many things they expected, but Prabhupada said, this is the final conclusion I hear every time from different devotees who were there. The Prabhupada said, when you develop love for Krishna, that will make me very happy. So, what we need? Sadhana. What is the purpose of sadhana? To draw attention of Krishna and Prabhupada. Then they will give or sanction to awaken that bhav. Try to understand this. Krishna, if you look at the Bhagavad Gita 11.33, Krishna said to Arjuna, Tasmat tam uttishtata jaso lavasya jitta satrun bhumse rajyam samriddhim mayeva nihita purvam eva nimitta matra bhavasabbhasachi. Arjuna, get up. Prepare now to fight. I'm paraphrasing Prabhupada's translation, what I understand. And you should look for, win the glory. At the same time, it's not free just because you're doing that what I asked you. No. You have to kill your enemy, conquer your enemy. Means you have to do your sadhana, at the same time you have to look for the blessing. Then he says, enjoy the flourishing kingdom. Something secret he said after that on the third line. Mayeva nihita purvameva. I already killed them, all those enemies that you're going to kill. It's your kingdom. So you may put a logic, don't put a businessman logic. Oh, Krishna already killed them, so why do I need to kill? Why not I become like a peaceful guy, nice guy, Krishna already killed them, done, job is done. No, Prabhus and mothers, no. Krishna is not going to give us love of Godhead, Krishna Prem, if we don't do sadhana. This is a very crude example. This verse, I mean, there are few verses in Bhagavad Gita. This is one of the very good verse to me, that Krishna says, become my instrument in the fight. Means you have to fight, you have to feel, you have to identify the enemy. But don't become and don't have an enmity feeling. Without enmity feeling, you have to identify the enemy. And for my pleasure, you have to kill them, even though I put them into death already. It's very confusing. It is not confusing. Let me please write it down in your memory. Krishna has the result of your devotional life right now. Krishna has already. What he is seeking from us, our endeavor. Some people think Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to pursue Arjuna to fight to establish dharma. So Gita already reveals that opponent of dharma were already neutralized by Krishna's arrangement. He just said in this verse, you look at the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna just had to become an instrument in that arrangement. If Krishna had already beforehand secured the result, why did he seek the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna? Why did he speak? He already killed them. Why did he need to speak? Try to understand. Why Rupa Goswami wrote so many books? Why Prabhupada had to speak so much? Why Prabhupada had to demonstrate and practicing himself? This is the clue. Because he wanted to instruct Arjuna, and through Arjuna, all of us, about the art of working in devotional consciousness. So here Krishna explaining that the result of our work are not solely in our hands. I hope everybody hear me. Just because you are chanting, you are being nice, you think the result is in my hand. I'll become pure devotee tomorrow or not, it's depend on me. No, really. They are shaped by factors beyond our control. Please remember that. Factors that are ultimately under Krishna's control. When he desires a particular result, he can arrange for it by his omnipotence. He does not need us for that, but we need to connect with him. And if we to realize our longing for lasting love, joy as his eternal parts, we can connect with Krishna by working in a mood of loving service to him. When we do our sadhana, it has to be like this. Offering him our consciousness through our endeavor on his behalf. Moreover, we need to focus on endeavor instead of result. Please remember this. We must focus on endeavor instead of results. And Srila Prabhupada gave a good example of Jatayu. I'm not going to tell you the whole story. Prabhupada gave a beautiful story of Jatayu. He failed, but spiritually he never failed. Rather, he won Lord Ram's hand. So if we are too attached to the result, generally, why I'm hitting this point, because most of us, we are looking always, what am I getting? I'm chanting for so many days, so many years, so many, what am I getting? We're looking for a result. This is a mistake. We are too attached to the result, then failing to get, it will make us depressed. Getting it make us elated, but only temporarily, because everything material is temporary. But overall, craving for the result will keep us agitated. Instead, if we understand that Krishna wants us more than the result, I hope you heard this. Krishna wants us, Krishna wants each of you more than the result. Then we will strive diligently to offer him the result to express our devotion. And even if the result doesn't work out, still our endeavor itself will please him. I hope everybody understood. There is no failure in this sadhana. There is no failure. As long you endeavor, that's all Krishna wants to see, that you endeavoring. And he is satisfied with that. He will reciprocate by revealing his all attractiveness, thereby increasing our attraction for him. The resulting divine absorption will provide us security and satisfaction in both failure and success. I'm looking at the time. This morning sadhana is one of the most important factor in devotee's life. Well, one of the devotee, Vedabhyas Priya Swami, 2 years back, I was traveling with him. He was my sannyas mentor. And one thing he said in one place, he said, once he heard Srila Prabhupada says, our success in spiritual life, 99%, he said, advancement comes from our morning sadhana. I got scared. I said, 99%? Said, yeah, I heard that once. Prabhupada said like that. So it is very important. I'll just give you another example. Also, a few years back, I had a talk with Jayadatta Swami in Alachua, and Jayadatta Maharaj told me a very interesting story about head of the BBT. You know how Prabhupada loved publishing because his Guru Maharaj wanted it. And Prabhupada loves book. When new book comes out, more publishing, it makes Prabhupada very happy. But when you hear about this morning sadhana, maybe you heard that story, maybe you didn't hear it. When you hear this morning sadhana, you will be surprised that what Prabhupada says about more importance of morning sadhana. So Jayadatta, Prabhupada called Jayadatta Maharaj. When you see him, you can ask him, maybe he'll tell you. Prabhupada called Jayadatta Maharaj. He said, is it true the head of the BBT does not like to do morning sadhana? He doesn't get up in the morning and don't do sadhana. And Maharaj said, he was not a Maharaj at that time, he was a brahmachari, Prabhupada's time. And Maharaj said, yes, Prabhupada, he does not like to get up in the morning and do sadhana. Prabhupada said, then shut down the BBT here. We don't need publishing department if the head is not interested for morning sadhana. So I hope you understand that Prabhupada loved publishing, and yet he wants to shut down because the head of the department is not interested for morning sadhana. How much Prabhupada actually loved morning sadhana? Just think. And it really woke me up. Every time I hear about this morning sadhana, how important. We need Krishna's experience more than Krishna's explanation. So I'm going to tell you a little pastimes, because I never gave actually classes on just for sadhana. This is my first time, so bear with me, please pray for me. And there are few pastimes I'll try to say in every weekend. There are one pastimes, wonderful explanation how in Vrindavan they actually have a party whole night and they celebrate right Brahma Muhurta Mangal Arati time. This is uninterrupted. Now, all the Brajavashi does not know. If you ask the Brajavasis, they will not know. If you ask the Brahmanas, they will not know. If you ask the coward boys, they will not know. You know who will know? If you ask Mother Joshoda, she will not know. But Nanda Baba, no. Prabhupada said only Sukdev Goswami secretly told us this, that how Radha Krishna having a big party every day after whole night Ras Leela and others, what they do, what kind of pastime they do that created the Mangalarti or morning is the most important for Gauriyas, because it is the highest estimated happiness experienced by the Manjaris and Gopis. Hansudut Maharaj one time asked Prabhupada, so is this parampara? You can see in Vedabase it says, there's your Guru Maharaj, your follower of Manjaris. Prabhupada says, I'm paraphrasing that first line. He says, these are very confidential. These are not something to be publicly discussed. But then if you have a question, where are you going to ask? So I'm glad you asked me. Yes, my Guru Maharaj is a follower of Manjaris. So it's there, but generally we don't preach that in public. This is just among. And in the audience, I don't see any public. They are all confidential devotees. I'm just a servant. So I'll tell you a little story. It's wonderful, beautiful pastimes that Gaur Govinda Maharaj emphasized this pastime so much. And he gives a very nice key point. Once or every day it's happening. So if you really want to join ultimate happiness, not in only Brajadham, but in the confidential pastimes of Radha Krishna, then you have to have a good sadhana in Mangalarti time. Get up before Mangalarti. I know so many devotees finish even 16 rounds before Mangalarti. And it's possible, Prabhus and mothers. I live in America, I do this. We see that. There are many, they do. Because that's how it attracts their attention there. Lord Sri Krishna always thinking of Srimati Radharani. Even one time, Akshayananda Maharaj asked Prabhupada, why did you name the temple in Delhi Radha Parthasarathi? Nobody ever heard such name. Because Parthasarathi is in the battlefield, Arjuna, Krishna. How this Radharani is there? And if you heard the answer, I love it every time I hear those Prabhupada's comment. He says, you think there is ever a moment that Krishna is not thinking of Radharani? And Akshayananda Maharaj was like, oh, really? He said, yes, Prabhupada said. Krishna is always constantly thinking of Radharani, even in the battlefield. So, Krishna is always thinking of Srimati Radharani, feeling acute pains of separation from her. There are, in spiritual world, they also have a similar situation like in this world, because this world is like a dictionary reflection of the spiritual world. They have a awake stage, they have a dreaming stage, they also dream. In the dreaming condition, walking condition, Krishna calls out, Radhe, 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 Radhe. As the gopi faints, Krishna also faints sometimes, especially when he thinks of Radharani. So once upon a time, one day, Krishna was deeply thinking of Srimati Radharani. And in these acute pangs of separation, he fainted. Krishna is completely unconscious. After some time, all of a sudden, Narad Rishi, Uddhava appeared and saw Krishna lying unconscious. Narad Muni and Uddhava, they are very dear to Krishna. They know everything. So they understand why this condition has come to our Prabhu Krishna. There must be some mysterious pastime will take place. So those who are deeply in love with Krishna, they may grasp it. This is Krishna's acute pang of separation from Radha. Radharani eternally in his body. Radharani, when Krishna express to increase his feeling, then she comes out of his body. That is also there eternally. Just like Jiva Goswami Pad says, when you whistle, it sounds very nice. You like your own breath coming in a very musical sound. Like that, whistle, it sounds good. But when that same breath comes through the bamboo called flute, it sounds more melodious. So it is Krishna's internal pleasure potency inside. He is very happy, completely happy. But when it comes out, she creates more happiness for him. And Radha Krishna has an eternally uninterrupted, incessant attraction for each other. And if we don't focus on that, Srila Prabhupada writes in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya in the beginning, that attraction between Radha and Krishna is the origin cause of anything. Why we have a Zoom talk today, why we are in the material world, why any question you have, all origin is that attraction between them. If we can focus on Radha Krishna, if we can some or other shift our focus on them as much possible every day through chanting, through service, through thinking, we'll be million times more happier than now. Because they are embodiment of condensed form of bliss. So as Narada and Uddhava is thinking, what is going to happen? All of a sudden, Balaram just arrived there. And three of them has started contemplating. Then they came to conclusion. We need to wake him up. But then, they say, wait. Narad Muni's Bina, he can sing. And then Krishna will wake up. And the song he is going to sing about the glory of Radharani. But if Krishna wake up, wait, we're not going to start singing, we have to plan first. What will happen? He will immediately think that I want to go to, no, he's not going to think, he's going to run towards Vrindavan. He's so much drunken. Radharani is not a person only. Krishna, when we think of Krishna, anybody likes anything in this world, even gulab jamun or anything, even talk or watching a movie, that attraction is coming because of Krishna. Krishna's body is made of attraction. Krishna's body is made of bliss. He is a person, at the same time his body is nothing but condensed form of bliss. No material, skin, hair, all this, nothing. This is unbelievable. But he looks like a normal person. He is. But he's sweet. So they had a further discussion. Okay, then call Daruk. He should bring the chariot. And they said, okay, we're going to get ready. But then Uddhava, they asked Uddhava, then you should go first and inform the Brajavashi that they should be ready to welcome Krishna. Now try to understand this very secret. Rupa Goswami Pad wrote a special book called Vidagdha Madhav and Lalit Madhav, that Krishna never went outside Vrindavan even one step. That is true. Because in Golok Vrindavan, there is also different chamber, Dwarka and Mathura within Golok Vrindavan. And there is a separate Dwarka, separate Mathura also. In Golok Vrindavan, Krishna from Vrindavan does not go to Dwarka and Mathura. Jiva Goswami Pad writes. But there is this confidential pastime is there. This is what revealed here. Then, as they asked Uddhava, they please go and inform them that Krishna is coming. They are so much depressed. Uddhava became morose. He said, you know, what happened? Many years back when Krishna came, my Lord Krishna came from Vrindavan to Mathura. And then after he left, he sent me to counsel them. But I found it is not that he sent me to counsel them, to actually discover that what is real love. I thought I have love. I found I don't have any love. The amount of love that Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba and the gopis holds, unbelievable. All my understanding about Krishna is like a big crown of knowledge disappeared. The love they have, the real love they have. So then Uddhava says, Krishna did send me, but I tried my best. I could not stop. I was talking one time with Nanda Baba, and as I'm talking with Nanda Maharaj, then Nanda Baba said, what are you trying to say? That my son is super soul, he's everywhere. Where is this idea you coming with? That I should not cry, I should feel like he's present within your heart. Then all of a sudden he hears that Mother Yashoda is crying little louder. And Nanda Maharaj said, oh Yashoda, your son has sent him to pacify us. Mother Yashoda said, he is not doing his job. He should go back where he comes from. He's telling me, my son, whom I raised with my breast milk, that he is God, he's in my heart, he's everywhere. He's not doing his good job. Then Uddhava looked at her and she's crying. She put something in her bag. He said, I'm going. And Uddhava watching. Then other mothers says, where are you going? He said, I'm going to Mathura. She said, why you are going to Mathura? Mother Yashoda said, I'm going to Mathura because I'm going to be maid servant of Devaki. Why you want to become maid servant of Devaki? Because after serving her for 1 month, she will say, what salary you want? I'll say, I just want to see the beautiful face of your son. That's my salary. Just by saying this, she fainted. And Uddhava watched it. Wow, this is love. That queen will become a maid servant just to have a one look of Krishna. How intense love. Then of course Uddhava realized that I am failing. Krishna sent me to counsel. How am I going to counsel? In the material world, if somebody cry, you can say, Arey Baba, don't cry. The material body is temporary. Whatever happened, there is no real prem. You should cry for God. But if somebody cry for God, how can you tell them not to cry? So Uddhava felt a dilemma. How am I going to tell Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, don't cry for Krishna? Or should I tell them, okay, cry, more cry, cry more. So he felt his mission was failed. He could not pacify any Brajavashi. Rather, he felt he did not have love, genuine love, the way they have love for Krishna. So Uddhava started crying. He said, I failed. I cannot go to Vrindavan and tell Brajavashi Krishna is coming. They will not trust my word. And I told them, as soon as I go back, I will do as best possible to send him. But Krishna never went. Why they will trust me now? So as Uddhava started crying, then Balaram, then Narad Muni asked, what about you? Balaram touched his chest. He said, my heart has a pain. And he could not speak very clearly because he said, yes, I also tried. I told Krishna how Brajavashi is crying and crying. And Krishna says, yes, I'll go. But he never went. How can I go back and tell them that Krishna, before I promised and Krishna never went, why they will believe me now? So then they did not know what to what to say. So that time Narad Muni comes. Narad Muni tells, well, if Balaram failed, Uddhava failed, what will happen? Then good news. Mother Subhadra was listening. She said, don't worry, I'll go first. And I will tell them that give up your anxiety. I'll sit on Mother Jashoda's lap. I'll wipe her tears. I'll say, Mother, my two brothers are coming. But along the road, my brothers, they're so beautiful. Krishna is so beautiful. Everybody started worshipping him, giving him gift. So they're taking little time, but they will be here in a day or two. I just came early. Sometimes men are little crooked. I am a lady. You can trust me. And they will trust me. That time, Uddhava, Narada, Balaram, everybody agreed. Yes, this is good plan. She should go. So they arrange a beautiful chariot. And one chariot already prepared for Krishna with Dwarka, Daruk. Another chariot for Subhadra. Subhadra is now going to go. As soon as Subhadra leaves, then Narada will play the Bina and Krishna will wake up and he wants to run towards Vrindavan, will say, Prabhu, chariot is here, will take you there. Balaram said, wait, I cannot just let my sister go alone. I'll go with her. Then they all agreed, okay, this is a good plan. So first Balaram, then Subhadra. At that time, Ratha Jatra, this is origin Ratha Jatra in spiritual world. As soon the two Rathas started, Narad Muni started playing the Bina. And as soon he played the Bina, when this transcendental sound vibration touched Krishna's ear, he immediately, conscious again, at once stood up in a three-curved way. Now, three-banded form, you will never see anywhere in Dwarka, Mathura, Kurukshetra, Hastinapur, nowhere, only in Vrindavan. And in our ISKCON temples, because that's the mood Prabhupada gave. You never see Krishna straight. That is Dwarka Krishna. Kshatriya Krishna. All our temple has this form, three-banded form. Only in Brajabhumi, nowhere else. And that form is always drunk by the beauty and sweetness of Srimati Radharani. And it has a beautiful peacock, no royal dress, flower, cloth turbans. As soon Krishna woke up by Narad Muni's Bina, he said, "Where's my flute? Where's my flute?" This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a talk with Srivas. He said, go on in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila. This is where this pastime actually hinted. Then, not finding the flute, Krishna says, who stole my flute? Oh, I know, those gopis stole my flute. As Krishna is about to run, that time Uddhava said, Prabhu. Then Krishna says, Uddhava, you are in Vrindavan. Then next moment, Krishna sees Narada. Say, Narada, how you are in Vrindavan? Then he came to his external senses. Krishna has always three existence in rasa. External, internal, and in the middle. Antarvajyadasa in Sanskrit is called. So then Krishna says, oh, am I not in Vrindavan? Then Uddhava and Narada said, my lord, we know you would run to Vrindavan. Therefore, we already have prepared this beautiful chariot for you. Please get in the chariot. Then Krishna, who is always thinking of Srimati Radharani, had become like a madman. Have you, anybody saw madman? You see Jagannath, how he comes from the temple to the cart? It's like going like this. Cannot walk, cannot move. It's like a drunk. He's only thinking of Radharani. Radha Rasa Madira. The mellow of Radharani is like a liquor, Madira, mud. He's drunk, shaking, waving like an intoxicated madman. With much difficulty, Narada and Uddhava caught hold of him and put him on the chariot. So finally, when Jagannath, that Krishna, in Jagannath form means Krishna who is in deep separation feeling for Radharani. That form of Krishna is called Jagannath. Why? Because he's so drunk. And now he's in the chariot. Narada ordered Daruka to drive the chariot to Braja. Daruka drove up as swiftly as the wind. In the meantime, Baladev chariot and Subhadra chariot already reached. Arriving in Braja, Baladev saw the inhabitant Brajavasis are about to die. Their condition in separation. But of course, we have to understand this is Rasa transformation, transcendental mellow transformation. There is no such thing called death. There is no death in spiritual world. But they feel like dying out of desperate separation experience. Everything that we have here, over there in a sweet form. That's the only difference. But there is no actual death. So arriving in Braja Balaram, he was shocked seeing the Brajavasis feeling acute separation from Krishna. They're about to die. He's like, could not believe. He said, how you all are surviving? Just by seeing this, he also felt paralyzed. You know, when you are looking Krishna within and you want to just hold him so tightly, what happened? You don't want to be distracted by anything. So your hand, legs walks out, hand touches everything. You want everything to be shrinken. That's what Balaram form you'll see in Ratha Jatra. His hand, leg, everything shrinks because he wants to hold tightly Krishna. Same transformation also took place to Subhadra when she saw the condition of Mother Yashoda. She could not even speak. Just by seeing the separation feeling she has for Krishna, her hand and legs shrink. Wow, how much love they have for Krishna. Unbelievable. She could not move. She wants to hold Krishna in her heart too. While all this thing going on, Radharani's condition gradually became worse. And it was a very mysterious pastime took place. I'm just giving you one night. This happened every day, new pastimes. That Radharani is about to leave this. It's called Udghurna. Rupa Goswami Pad in Nectar of Devotion and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu book has this. And Srila Prabhupada says, without this book, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, no one can understand what Krishna consciousness is. Very nicely, Prabhupada said. So this is the condition called Udghurna. All the Shokis are doubtful whether or not there is a life in Radharani's body. So sometimes they sing about Krishna. Sometimes they put a cotton on her, near her nostril to see if she's breathing. She's lying. Her head is resting on the soft palm of Lalita Devi. And all the 8 Shokis are surrounding her, all the thousands of Manjari. They're singing. They sometimes tell some pastimes of Krishna, how he loves her so much. But some or other, nothing is working. At that time, Radharani's husband, Ayan Ghosh, she came there and she boldly declared, he boldly declared, "Oh Radhe, I never married you. I married your shadow. You are Krishna's wife." Because Jogomaya opened the curtain from his rolling that pastimes. He understood some truth of Krishna. He said, Krishna is the object of everybody's love. And you are the dearest. It appears like I married you, but actually no, it was a shadow. I never touched you. How can I touch? You belong to Krishna. But today I'm most fortunate that I'm touching your feet. So her husband, Ayan Ghosh, touched Radharani's feet and took. He said, I'm very fortunate today. But Purnamasi, Jogomaya, Brinda Devi created these pastimes that you married me, but actually never. There was a shadow of you, took another form. And it appears I married, but I never touched. But then, just like Prabhupada also explained, just like a Ravana never took Sita, is a false Sita. So like that, we have to understand that also. But one time, Krishna had a fever. And Krishna all of a sudden fainted in the middle of the house. And Nanda Maharaj, Mother Yashoda crying, what happened? What happened? And nobody knows. They could not revive him. Nanda Maharaj immediately asked for some doctor. Well, there was another Krishna who is also famous in Vrindavan as a doctor, but nobody knows this is Krishna. Vishwanath Chakravarti tells us, Krishna has like an old Kabiraj, like old man with the glasses, stick, and a medicine box in his armpit. And he says, any cure, guarantee, any disease will be cured. Of course, there is no disease in Vrindavan, but that's how the Leela is. So Nanda Maharaj asked him. So there, Nanda Maharaj asked, how can we cure this boy? We will die if he's not alive. Our life sustain on his life.
So, well, we have to find a most chaste lady who can bring the water from Jamuna with this pot, a pot which has thousands of holes. I'm sure you heard that past times. And nobody failed. I mean, nobody could, everybody failed. Nobody could make it. So that time, Jotila, Kutila, they also came. So, oh Radhe, please forgive us. We tried to spread bad rumors about you, but actually never. This is just to intensify your love for Krishna and to test. But you know, I'm not a chaste. On that pastimes, I went to Jamuna with this pot with thousands hole and all the water came through. It was just to prove that you are the only chaste because Krishna is your. Then Chandravali came. Chandravali also said, oh Radhe, Krishna actually loves you, but he comes to my camp, my kunja, just to make your eagerness stronger, makes him happy. So it appears like he loves me, but I exist just for your pleasure. So they all said and pleaded, please don't die, don't leave. Because if you leave, nobody can satisfy Krishna. And Krishna will never come to Vrindavan if you leave. As they are expressing all this beautiful expression, Krishna just arrived there. Krishna just reached with his chariot. As soon Krishna arrived in Brajadam, he immediately jumped down from his chariot. Now Jogomaya manifesting a beautiful, how as if by providential arrangement, Krishna appeared there. The place is called Nidhuban. Every night they have this kind of festival. So then Radharani is lying. All of a sudden, Krishna ran there from his mouth, full of love. O Radhe, O Radhe, Dehi pada pallava mudaram, smarala garala khandanam, mama shirasi mandanam, Dehi pada pallava udaram. Prabhupada wrote this word, Dehi pada pallava udaram. Please give me your lotus feet, O Radhe. I want to put them on my head. So as soon they saw, all the gopis they saw, Krishna just arrived there. Then immediately Vishakha Devi started singing a beautiful song that, oh, Radhe, Krishna is here. As soon Krishna, Radharani heard it, all her dying, opened the eyes, saw Krishna eye to eye union. She became just youthful girl. All her sickly condition, everything disappeared. Everybody fresh. That moment, it's exactly Brahma Muhurta Mangalarti time. That time Radha and Krishna tightly embraced to rest. What a pastime they went for last so many hours. As they were about to take rest, eye to eye union, forgot all the past. In Nidhuban, every day in spiritual world, this Nishanta Lila takes place. This is so important. Of course, as soon Radha Krishna unite every day and then they separate. 3:36, one Lila ends and then they depart to go each other's house before their parents wakes up. So they will never even know that the whole night they were outside. This is every day they do. Why Jogomaya created this? So that intensity makes heart nourish more. This is such a wonderful pastime. Every day And I'll next Saturday, I'll tell you another pastimes, how this Mangalarti time, this pastime taking place every day. And I hope and I pray all of you can join to Krishna in Vrindavan. And not even Brajabashis are able to go there, only those who are very confidential, like us. And that's what Prabhupada gave us, the Vrindavan Krishna, and we will be there. Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bo. Now I'll say just one few words just before I end, that I'm trying to give the importance of this sadhana, morning sadhana. I'm bringing some reference exactly what is happening, but it's very difficult to give the whole picture in a few sessions. So I hope you also do some research yourself why it is so important. And I found, I collected actually how many topics Prabhupada actually spoke about this morning sadhana. Jagat Guru Maharaj, one of Prabhupada's sannyas disciple, he even mentioned how a young student came to challenge the ISKCON sannyasis and leaders. He said, have you seen God? Have you seen God like this? And Prabhupada was listening from little far. And then he came to a point where they even asked Prabhupada, have you seen God, Swamiji? So Prabhupada did not answer in the beginning. He says, you think they are wasting time chanting and practicing this? You think I'm wasting time? You are going to school to be educated and get some money. Some of them already born with more money than you can make. They gave up all this for nothing. Why don't you think like that instead of asking like this question? And after little bit time of pacifying them, then Prabhupada said, you want to see Krishna? You want to see God? Come at 4:30 in the morning. And I found many times Prabhupada always refer Mangalarti time. He does not say come noon time or afternoon or evening. He said come in the morning. You will see God. It is important. There's so much confidential about this morning sadhana. And I hope you all get contagious with this and get into this morning sadhana. Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari. Is there any, I know I ran out of time. Is there any question or reflection?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Pran Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All go Shri Prabhupada and Gurudev. This is Shyam Giridharidas. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Such a nice class, and the importance of morning japa and the pastimes of Radha Krishna is very heart-touching and very nice. And Prabhuji, before we go on to the question and answer session, just with your permission, I'd like to take 1 minute for an announcement so that we can go for the question session. Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. I'll go to Srila Prabhupada. There will be a part 2 and part 3 sessions will also be there, as Prabhuji mentioned, next Saturday and the following Saturday. We would like you to please join so that we don't miss this importance of morning japa session from Prabhuji. So that we'll have all the series of, the continuation of the importance of this japa. Please join. And now I'd like to open up the questions from anyone who has any questions. So please raise your hand, or I can unmute if you can. Anyone has any questions?
Or any reflection either, that what you are taking with you.
Prabhuji's, Mataji's, anyone has any questions? Yeah, look, Prabhuji, looks like Ishwari Radha Mataji has a question. Mataji, I'm unmuting you. Maybe you can unmute yourself at your end. You can ask the question, Mataji.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is such a wonderful, wonderful lecture. I've been meaning to put my sadhana first. And what you said today, it's like, okay, from tomorrow on, this is my first thing. I don't care what happens. I'm getting a Brahma Muhurta time. I'm completing my, I think, 16 rounds. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for your question.
That's very inspiring. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else? Looks like Arunodaya Prabhuji has a question. Prabhuji, you can unmute yourself, Prabhuji. You can ask a question, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you have any question?
Yeah, are you listening to me, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All grace to Srila Prabhupada. It's a very wonderful class. I really enjoy it, and you speak a little bit like touch about Astakali or Lila like that. I realize a little bit. I don't know, but it's like regarding the morning sadhana, and especially Brahma Muhurta is so important for our spiritual journey, for our devotional life. You explained so wonderfully. This is the first time I could hear that so much important you have given regarding like Brahma Muhurta sadhana. And is a sometimes I feel it is personal question, but I am so interested to ask you this. You are telling that you are doing you're chanting 16 rounds before Mangalati. So what time you wake up then? It's a very hard. It's not easy.
I feel like I should not say it, but actually, I mean, well, I should be honest. Actually, I finished 32 rounds. I get up at 1. But I'm not saying this is I used to do whole life. This is just recently, last maybe 6-7 years. But if you want what I understood, there was a time I used to sleep even 6 to 8 hours when I was running a business, and Sundays even 10 hours. I remember those days. But I used to always chant, but it was very hard struggle. But last 6-7 years, maybe 8 years back, when I took a decision, I really want to make this life. And I see Prabhupada and Guru Bhargava, they also bless, but you have to have a strong desire. Then your body also adjusts. It's very mystical. I'm giving you from a practical point. I'm not saying that you should wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning, but you can. Your body will change. Your body adjusts. What we sleep sometime 1 hour, I take a 10 minutes nap during the day, it's equal to 1 hour at night sometime. It's a very mystical. Prabhupada was sleeping 3 hours. I understand he's Mahabhagavat, but he also wants us to become advanced. How are we going to be advanced? But there is a taste. Before Mangalarti, if you start finishing your rounds, there is a taste I can never replace after Mangalarti chanting. There is so many examples given. Jagannath Das Babaji said, before as soon as the sun hits, Rajagun starts. He said, try to finish your rounds in Sattvagun. So many things possible. I'm not saying it is necessary for everybody, but it will be good if you can finish rounds. Why Prabhupada talks so much about getting up in the morning, getting up in the morning? Why Prabhupada spent so much time of talking about it? Because there is a secret about it. You pray for me, Prabhu, and I pray for you, and then it will happen. I cannot hear, Prabhu. You have to unmute.
Arunadaya Prabhu, you need to unmute Prabhu at your end.
I think I saw Mother Shamala Gopika. She's here, right? Oh, there you are. Thank you, Mother, for inviting me. Such a wonderful audience you have there. Very attentive. Any reflection, one or two? Oh, I see Mother Kamalani. Oh, wow. She's like my teacher. She's Prabhupada disciple, but she's a very erudite preacher also. Very nice.
Hare Krishna, Prana, Govinda, Prabhuji. So, once again, wants to express our gratitude to you on behalf of all the participants. It was such an amazing session. You beautifully described the importance of morning sadhana, and especially through Prabhupada's pastimes, how Prabhupada stressed on morning sadhana. I mean, that pastime when he mentioned about shutting down DBT was just an eye-opener. So thank you very much for sharing that. It was unheard pastime. So Prabhuji, you mentioned about the ninth verse of ninth verse of Guru Ashtakam, that there is the importance of chanting that Guru Ashtakam is given. Could you please be kind and just give us the translation of that verse?
Sure. There is a little pastime, but not today. Maybe the last session, I'll narrate the pastime of that.
Sure.
Each verse is very important. I tell you something, because you all are initiated, looks like. The 6th verse, Nikunja Juno Ratikeli Shiddhei, Yajali Vir Juktirapekshaniya, Tatrati Dakshat Ativallavasya Bande Guru Sri Charnaravinda. This is a very confidential in a sense. It says this, your spiritual master, because he's expert in assisting the gopis. So who is our guru? We are singing every day. Is it good idea what we're singing we should know or not know? What do you think?
Yes, we should.
Oh, thank you. I just want to make sure. Otherwise, we are singing for decades, but we are not aware what we are singing. I'm sure you heard that story, that one sage in the forest. I'll try to minimize a very short one. That so many birds came to complain that you are sage, you always well-wisher of all living being. And there is a hunter comes and catches our descendant, they all get caught in the net and they die and we miss them. Can you do something? Said, sure, I'll teach you a mantra. So I cannot rhyme it, but you can all figure it out. So he made the mantra, hunter will come, he will spread the seed, and don't go there, because if you go there, the net will fall and you will become his lunch or something like that. So all the birds learned that mantra. And after some time, the hunter actually came and spread the seed to attract them. They are eating and singing. And the hunters spread the net and caught them. and all the birds became the lunch. So then another group of birds says that mantra didn't work. So I didn't tell you the mantra just to sing. You have to apply in your life. You don't know the meaning of it. So sometime when we chant something, we should be aware. I'm sure you are aware that Hare Krishna mantra and the alphabet Hare Krishna are different. I hope you all know. It is not the English or Sanskrit word, K-R-S-N-A, is Krishna. No. It is the Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in Harinam Chintamani, এই সব শিখাইলে এই সব জানিলে হয় তব নাম এই সব জানিলে হয় তব নাম নামে জড় বুদ্ধি যার তার দুঃখ গ্রাম. When you understand the substance of holy name, glory of holy name, when you are devoid of namaparad, namabas, bevadan, three things, then it is pure name, real holy name. Just by uttering the name, you will get result, but not Krishna Prem, never. You will get liberation, that's it, max. It is better than not chanting. So chanting, but real substance has to be there. So similarly, this sadhu then taught them again. So similarly, in this verse, it says that if you look at the translation, Prabhupada's translation, there's a two translation. Prabhupada time, he also translate. Achyutananda Prabhu also translated. So this translation said the spiritual master, by the mercy of the spiritual master, let me look at the verse again. Nikunja Juno Ratikeli Siddhei Jajali Vir Juktir Opekshaniya Tatrati Dakshat Ativallavasya Bande Guru Sri Charanaravindam. So who is the spiritual master? He is expert, Daksha. Daksha means expert in Sanskrit. Expert of what? In assisting the gopis. For what? Because they are the one who create these beautiful pastimes of Radha Krishna in their conjugal affairs. Now, are you seeing this sannyasi form or grihastha form? Your guru is actually assisting the gopis? No, no sannyas. Prabhupada is not in sannyas form assisting Radharani. No, no such thing. We should really deeply think. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur explained this. Your guru is a sannyasi, but that's his functional form. His fundamental form is his relationship form in spiritual. Functional form, how he's functioning as a sannyasi ashram, as a guru, is functioning. But his job to assist, according to this sloka, to Radha Krishna's pastime, the gopis, not in a sannyas form. So he has also spiritual form. When you chant Gayatri mantra, in Guru Gayatri, what do we say? There is a one word, I should not say in public, but there is a one word means, my dear Gurudev, reveal to me that form. Why we chant? Because that mantra is there. Guru has a spiritual form, fundamental identity. But what form he is here is a functional identity. With the functional identity, there is also fundamental identity. But remember always one thing. Fundamental identity and functional identity, there is a relationship. Functional identity should be under fundamental identity. Always. Who is our Guru? Prabhupada translated in 6th canto, one verse. The verse goes, Aham hare tava padaika moola dasanudasa bhavitasmi bhuya manasmaret asupate gunante grinita vaka karma karota kaya. And Prabhupada translate, Oh my Lord, when will be the day I will serve you under your eternal associate? Prabhupada writes, every disciple should think in the purport he writes, their guru is the eternal associate. Eternal associate doesn't mean in the form we are seeing here. Means within this form there is an eternal associate form also. So in this verse 6, it says that Gurudev is assisting the gopis in the Radha Krishna's conjugal loving affair. It's very nice. Jayadutta Maharaj in the class one time he said, he went to Prabhupada's god brother, Sridhar Swami Maharaj, very dear to Srila Prabhupada. And he asked that question, that Maharaj, how is possible some of our god brother may not be qualified, may not be eligible to assist the gopis in Radha Krishna's pastime? And Sridhar Maharaj gave a very good answer. He said, Krishna is always, we need to consider Krishna endowed with inconceivable potency. Inconceivable potency. Krishna can make anything to anything. Not whether you like or you don't like. We have to allow Krishna to control. Krishna can manifest. Krishna can engage anyone in his service anytime. He has full control on everything. Ishavashyam idam sarvam. Jatkincha jagatam jagat. Ishavashyam. He owns, he's the proprietor and he controls it. This is very important. So we have to think that, yes, by the mercy of Krishna, by Krishna's arrangement, my Gurudev is an eternal associate. But he appears like one of the human being in this world. But I should not see him only functional identity. I should respect him also in his fundamental identity. That he is a servant of Srila Prabhupada, he is an eternal lover of Krishna, and he is in the spiritual world. He has a form there. We should be fully aware. Now the number 9 verse, I will not talk much about this 6. I'll give you a little story maybe next Saturday or number 9 verse is the Falashruti. Srimad Gurur Astakameto Duchir Brahma Muhurte Patati Prajatnat Jastena Vrindavananat Sakshat Seve Balabba Janatevan. That verse says that Srimad Gurur Astakam Etot Uche. Anyone who chant these 8 verses, Ucher means loudly, not screaming, I mean like loud enough that you are expressing your. Do you know ever, how do I word it? You ever had a, oh no, I should not say it to you like that. If you ever know anybody has a good relationship amongst the spouse or a children with the parents, but that relationship is disturbed due to some reason. When that relationship is disturbed, you know how they talk? Like I saw recently, and I mentioned to that Prabhu, I said, you're talking to Mataji as if, it's, half a mile far away, she is there. But she is 5 feet from you in the kitchen, and you are in the living room. But you are like so angry, speaking like she is like a half mile away. He said, Govind, why you speak like this? I said, I'm just curious, why? He said, I know you have some answer. I said, no, I heard from our acharyas. When your relationship breaks, you speak loud. I know. That person is right here. You don't have to scream. I know, so loudly. Because you are angry. Your normal relationship, harmonious relationship is disturbed. So you're trying to bring back that relationship by screaming out. When we chant loudly, Krishna pays attention. Relationship is broken. Let's revive the relationship. And if you have little feeling with it, with loud chanting, hopefully Krishna grant it and you will have done success. So it says, Srimad Gurur Astakam Etat Ucche. We should chant loudly. Brahma Murte. When? Brahma Murta. 1 hour 36 minutes before sunrise. I don't know, you calculate when sunrise, wherever you are. 1 hour 36 minutes before, or 1 hour 30 minutes before. Brahma Muhurte Patati Prajatna. Jatna and Prajatna. Jatna means attentively, carefully. Prajatna means completely. Be fully absorbed when you are singing Samsara Dava, Nalalila, what you are singing. The first verse is about your situation. You are in the middle of one side. Can you imagine? Put yourself, Mahaprabhu gave that scenario. Just imagine you are in the middle of forest where the blazing fire all around. You have to get out or you'll die. But where are you going to go out? You want to get out? There is some surrounding around, four places you can go. One side, there's a big python opening the mouth. I'm so hungry, come here. Well, you can go there if you want to just completely diminish your existence. These are called Buddhism philosophy. There are many. I don't want to mention the names. It's not proper. But there are some philosophy in this world. There are billions of people follows this. These are Python philosophy. You will be completely swallowed. You follow that path, end of your life, you will become a rock. You read 8.247 Madhya-lila, chapter 8. Prabhupada explained. You'll become rock or a tree. Well, I don't want to go that route. I really get scared. I'm being honest to you, not only telling you. I get scared of thinking even. But Mahaprabhu created the first verse of Gurbastakam every day that we sing. It's a very fearful situation. We should focus. Then another side, ghost. Well, unless you are hunted by ghost, you don't know what ghost hunting actually. It's like somebody take over your body. It's like you are going to Miami, well, or say anywhere, you're going to Miami, and somebody by force said sitting on top of your lap to drive. How you feel secure to drive to your destiny? You're like, why? Let me go, but you cannot because he's so powerful. Ghost is like this. They take over body and they'll do whatever they want. Would you like to go to that planet? Well, that's the option Mahaprabhu gave. You read in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that first verse of Samsara Davanala, one side is Python philosophy, one side is ghost philosophy, another side is a wasp. Wasp is like you don't die, you don't live, but you always like pain. Oh, this happened. Oh, this could have happened. Oh, then finally death comes again, new life. And it's like a life after life, you're just complaining and nourishing. Oh, I feel good now. Oh, again, this happened. This is like a life. This is called was karma. So we don't want karma. We don't want jnana. We don't want yoga. Only one side is left, is the east side. And if you can somehow or other run towards that east side, there's a beautiful rain cloud will allow you to go make journey nice. That's called bhakti path. So that verse says that you have to chant loudly, but you have to understand attentively, prajatnat, justena brindavana. And if you do this, what will be the result? It says, Brahma Muhurte, if you do this chanting, do your sadhana, Lord of Brindavan, at the time of your death, will take you to Golok Brindavan and engage you as one of his assistants. And one of Yogamaya, I guess, or your Guru Manjari will be there. It's wonderful, beautiful Falashruti. Sorry, Dibbanam Prabhu, I went a big tour explaining that.
No, but that was very, very beautiful.
Thank you. So
So,
we can end here if no one else says.
Thank you so very much, and thank you. Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Go ahead, Shamkila.
So in the interest of time, Prabhuji, I don't see any questions from anyone. Maybe I think it's almost 2 hours. I don't want to take up anyone's time, and maybe thank you so much, Prabhuji, and let's meet next Saturday.
Yes.
Thank
Please
you so
accept
much.
my humble obeisances, all of you. Bancha kalpataruvesya, kripa sindhubhaya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anantagari Vaishnavindaki, Jai Gaur Pramanande.
Hari
Hari Hari Bol.